Hey, welcome to the Unique Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for anyone that lands on this because we're doing a live stream. Now, if you're new to the channel and you're interested in winning a free reading with me, I'm going to put it out there right away. It's also written in the comment bar what you have to do. I'm trying to grow my channel, so anyone that pretty much does these three things is going to get a free reading with me. All they need to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word heal in their comment bar. And you'll know if I picked you, which I'm going to be searching. Anyone that does these three things, they're going to win a free reading with me. Is that you'll know because I wrote the word winner underneath. And if I did, then you'll just reach out to me through my email, tell me what days and times you're available, and I will get back to you and we'll agree on a time. All right, all live streams, all videos are done live streamed, all readings are done live stream is what I'm meaning to say. Okay. Yeah, all giveaways actually, whether I'm giving a free reading or whether or not I am giving a free oracle system away. This is the oracle system, the Psychic Soul Healer, and it comes with a workbook. It comes with a downloadable workbook, and it also comes with a physical, tangible workbook that has over 100 different exercises in healing the shadow aspects of ourselves. It also comes with like this YouTube channel, like you get help, you get to integrate your spiritual wounds into spiritual gifts. It actually also helps you enhance your psychic ability and helps you deepen your meditation and reflection practices. A lot of times when we heal our shadow, right, when we heal the shadow aspect of ourself, we're healing wounds. And when you heal and integrate wounds, because that's how you would heal a wound, is you have to integrate it, you see what you're left with is a spiritual gift because you get to see a different perception of your situation. All right, now anything that you guys need to know about the channel you can find in the description box, all important links. That includes my all upcoming showings and events, as well as my Udemy class that I just launched. I just launched the Christian Metaphysical Home Study, and this has over 80 different modules on healing, psychic development, and psychic mastery, healing and, again, channeling your sensitivity, as well as healing the effects of psychic trauma and mindfulness. So all three things that you're getting, I include sensitivity with psychic ability because, again, part of clairsentient is, right, you're feeling, and clairsentient is the gift that empaths have. They also have claircognizance, which is clear knowing, which is, I don't know how I knew that, I just know. So they're able to read energy. So if you're looking to master your sensitivity, and when I say it like that, because people that have not learned how to master their sensitivity, they tend to get overstimulated. They let other people's energy bother them. They tend to get in their own way. They can have sabotaging behaviorisms. So your sensitivity is a gift that many, many, many times needs to be mastered before you can actually get the benefits of using it. There's nothing worse than feeling inadequate because you get overstimulated. All right. So something to consider if you're someone that struggles with, your sensitivity, or you want to enhance your psychic ability, or just, again, heal your trauma, you definitely want to check it out. It's, again, called the Christian Metaphysical Mindfulness, Psychic Development, Healing, and Mindfulness course. Again, I'll put the link in the description box for you all. All right, now without further ado, let's see what's happening within your situation. I always like to read your energy first, the spiritual energy, because really you're only having a relationship with yourself and God. Everyone else that comes into your life is a reflection of yourself, including the things that you don't like. You say, how is that? Well, they trigger you. And again, so it means that you need healing. You're a vibrational resonance of it. So that the spiritual energy is always going to be what drives the reading, is always going to be why certain situations and experiences unfold the way that they do. And that we can shape shift our situation anytime that we want by just doing something different. That's how you integrate your spiritual wounds and make them into spiritual gifts. See, you're down here in physical form to learn and to manifest. You're supposed to be learning you're not separate from God, which is unconditional love. Through seeing your life through all different perceptions. But when we have a spiritual block, that's parts of ourselves that we've detached from, parts of ourselves that we feel wounded, parts of ourselves that we don't like. So again, they're going to play out within our relationships. Those type of wounds play out within our relationships. They play out within our finances, and not just within our intimate relationships, but actually with people that we work with acquaintances. They play out as karmic themes. So that's why we always want to look at the spiritual energy first, especially if we don't like what's going on. If I don't like what's going on, I want to change it. That's what I want to do. I don't want to keep it. All right, first card out. Oh, look at this. It's a Joker card, and I always keep it in there. See, it has nothing on it. And I used it almost like as another layer, the reading. Like you're dealing with someone that doesn't have their own identity, almost. Someone that may be a chameleon. Anytime that you're around them, they sway to the breeze, like whichever person they feel is the best person to listen to in that moment, they'll go to that side. And that's when we don't form enough of our own unique individuality. Who we perceive we are is based on, again, our experiences that we've lived, the environment that we live. It's not all the time the thoughts that we've come up with on our own. It's based on perceptions. This is where epigenetics comes into play. Epigenetics is the study that your environment creates your reality. And it does so because you form behaviors and habits that are in alignment with whatever's going on in your environment. So if you're dealing with someone that doesn't have identity, it's because they don't really know who they are. And that's because someone told them who they are and they probably don't like it. Now, remember, energy is fluid, so roles could be reversed. So this could also be you. But remember, like goes to like. So you could also be dealing with someone that has that energy, and you might feel a little bit of having that energy too. And that could also be because you're not fully invested in your career. You don't really know what direction you're going. And so that's not bad. Again, yeah, the reason why is because you're dealing with someone that has a low vibration. It's again. And I also feel like you're clearing wounds. I feel like you're clearing and shedding wounds. See, when you do that, what comes up first is the negative energy, right? We wouldn't be aware of what's imbalanced unless whatever was coming at us in our environment, right? The situations can't play out. This is why it's so dangerous now, especially like what you're seeing in the world. What we're seeing in the world is a lot of people that are fearful, that a lot of people feel like they can't financially make it, that a lot of people, because the environment is what's dictating that. Is that true? It may be true in your reality, but that's because you're not honoring yourself. See, we all have a divinity part of self. That's a God part of self. That's a supernatural part of ourself. And the thoughts that we think and the emotions that we have are what become our energy. So if you're around a negative person and this person's negative, it doesn't get any more negative. And tactlessness is usually someone that's very selfish, that only cares about themselves. They live from a lower emotion, but they do so because they're coming from the perception of fear. And that's because they don't know who they are. And it's also because, again, what they perceive about themselves, they don't really like. And that's because their environment told them who they are, not necessarily who they are. So, but nevertheless, if you're dealing with them, it wouldn't be good energy. The Genius, again, ironically, this energy was flipped, this card was flipped over, which is obscurity, which is, again, when a person feels a little, they don't have a lot, they don't feel like they're enough. So again, that's a spiritual imbalance, because we all are enough. You may not know who you are, and your perceptions are based on, again, outside things, which aren't really you, but the obscurity is the fact that the person that you're dealing with is always coming from a very low level consciousness, because they feel like they're not enough. They don't, and the reason why is because, again, don't have an identity. That happens a lot of times if you grew up in an alcoholic family. It could happen because you grew up in an environment that didn't support you. So didn't allow you your unfolding process, or because you were so worried about the people in your environment, maybe a mother or a father, whatever, what was going on, that you were more concerned about helping them instead of helping yourself. So it doesn't necessarily mean that a person is bad because they don't have an identity. Remember, you get the story of who you think you are, then you get the real story of who you truly are. And you say, well, what does that mean? Well, again, you're born into karmic families that teach you, and they teach you about they teach you a lot of times through pain and suffering. And because, again, whatever they go through, we inherit their pain. Whatever is going on in society at the time and how they're dealing with the situation, we're inheriting their behaviorisms. You become a product of your environment. So this person didn't really venture out into like their life, and they feel, again, obscure. And that's, again, this could be you, because remember, I wanted to start by pulling your energy. So again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad person, just means that you don't feel like there's enough. And because you don't feel like there's enough, you then attract people, again, that are limited, that again are, of a negative energy, because not because you're negative. You might be like, I keep attracting the same type of negative people into my life, and but I'm a nice person. Do you know how many times I hear that being a reader? And it's not because you're not, but there's only two energies, love and fear. And when you're holding this energy, it's because there's fear. When you're attracting that energy, it's because you too are holding fear. This energy, obscurity, matches this energy, because there's only two energies, love and fear. So that's important to know. And so if you want to heal that, we would say, well, how am I not supposed to feel small? And it's always an inside job. And know, until you heal it, most likely you'll always attract in like a little bit of imbalance, or you will meet someone that matches your energy. But if you keep working on yourself and healing yourself, you will evolve past them, and you won't be able to stay on the same vibration. All right, so this is just the spiritual energies. And again, the person's detached. So again, if we feel so small, because we don't really have an identity, and the identities that we have felt, it makes us feel small. It's, again, then what winds up happening is over time that trauma makes us detach from self. And it makes us detach because it means that we're no longer present. It means that we're either in our mind thinking about what did happen or what might happen. And every situation that we go into that triggers us, we're not going to feel good. So that's what this means. All right, now let's see what's going on in your relationship, or what's going on within your connection, because I wanted to really see what the hidden truths were in your connection. Let's see what the hidden truths are in your connection. Okay, you were the best thing in my life. I couldn't let you get close to me. Yeah, because this person had no identity, and they had no identity, so they weren't going to let you come close. They were living more from their mask. They wanted you to perceive them from what they were showing you, but not really who they were. And that's why, but they didn't like who they were. So the whole time that they were interactive with you, they didn't acknowledge the friendship. as much as they do now that you're in separation. They didn't notice or care. Again, when a person doesn't have an identity and they don't feel good about themselves, they're so worried about themselves that they give very little. And I feel like your person gave very little because they feel as if there's something wrong with them. So they weren't going to let you in. However, they look back on the connection and they were like, you were really a friend. You really did care about me. I am becoming a better person. And I believe that they are becoming a better person because you removed yourself. And when you remove yourself, what happens is you don't know what you got till it's gone. The person is no longer self-conscious about themselves because you no longer are around, but now they're forced with the memory of you and really who you were and thinking about it, thinking about the connection, thinking about all the conversations, thinking about the friendship that you were genuine. So in that, I believe that they want to be a better person because you're like almost like a role model, a muse, what it's supposed to look like. We need to let each other go. Feel like even though it's like, I feel like this person doesn't think that you'll ever be able to see them differently than for who you originally met, which who you originally met was someone that really didn't have an identity, didn't give you anything. They definitely breadcrumbed. They definitely showed that they didn't care. So probably were running around with a lot of different people, breadcrumbing everyone, not caring about anyone, only caring about themselves, and detached, emotionally not available. So they didn't treat you well. So in this, they're like, they realize that they completely damaged the relationship. And they realize they want to be a better person. However, they're like, I don't think that you will ever see me any different. And they're almost like bitter about it. Like almost like, yeah, that's the way that it was, but I can't really do anything about it. So let me just go out and meet somebody else, kind of is what I feel. And this is how you know that this person still needs healing. Because really, if they cared, they should apologize. But because if they're showing up in your reading that you were the best thing that ever happened, which is exactly, and that you're making them a better person, then they should tell you. But even if they just wanted to keep you as a friend, but this person is so prideful, is what I'm feeling. I knew exactly what I was doing. Of course, they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing when they were doing it, but they never thought that they were going to have the feelings that they have now. I'll tell you that. I don't think that they realized, again, they did not realize about the friendship. And you have to realize if you're talking to like 10 people and you're not really giving anyone anything, you're breadcrumbing everyone, and everyone's giving you compliments, making you feel good, and people that you're talking to are somewhat attractive, it's all that was doing for your person was feeding their ego. Their head was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So you were just another one of their fan club, is how they acted. They didn't know who you were. But this needed to happen for your person to humble themselves, even if you're not going to be with them, because no one should be walking around with this energy where they don't care about anybody. We don't have relationships to just as a physical thing. It's like you're an animal then. You're just having sex to have sex with multiple people, but those people think that you want something serious, but you don't want anything serious. You're detached. You're emotionally detached. Your person actually thought that there was something wrong with them, that they couldn't have a deep relationship because they've been living like this for a long time. I left you before you could leave me. Yeah, because if you got up close, you would have saw that there's nothing there. Now we're going to look deeper into the story and see, why doesn't this person have any identity? Why did they feel like they should leave you before you left them, or why, instead of working it out, like, why isn't this person working it out if they know that you're the best thing that was ever in their life? We want to know that. We will be together again. So I feel like they're a little bit indecisive. I feel like there's a part of them that, not even like they want to be with you, almost like, I know that eventually we could be together. So there's a little bit of cockiness there. There's a little bit of, I knew what I was doing. It wasn't the right time. This person is so emotionally detached. When I tap into them, I feel like they don't even care, that they're just like going through the motions. They're just very, very selfish. There's a sense of, and that's what you're going to get when you deal with a detached person, because they're taking the emotions out of it. There's a sense of, I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to run around with a lot of different people. I didn't want like a committed relationship with you when I met you. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't know how deep this relationship was until now that it's completely over and you have left. Um, However, I couldn't let you get close to me because I'm not really who I say I am. It's like I make my appearance look a lot better. Like I'm a chameleon. Like I'm a magician. I will make you perceive that my life is good and that I'm very confident and I'm very put together. But I'm really not. Because if I was, I wouldn't be need to run around with all these different people to get my ego fed. But I need that because I really am detached. And just because I'm detached doesn't mean that I don't need love. I want love, but I don't want to do any of the work. I'm detached because I got hurt. And I got hurt because, again, I grew up in an environment that was not, didn't let me be me. It's, again, there was no real identity here. Um, and I feel very small. So because I feel very small, I want you to feel small. So I played a lot of games, and I played a lot of games because, again, I don't like who I am. So I couldn't let you get close. I left you before you left me. However, you were the best thing that ever happened in my life. Unfortunately, I'm realizing that after the fact. And yes, I did know exactly what I was doing because I was in a different headspace. But I am healing now. I am becoming a better person. Um, However, I'm conflicted. I feel like we need to let each other go because I don't really want to surrender my ego. I don't really want to apologize. I feel really uncomfortable. I would like you to come and apologize to me. I would like you to come to me. Again, this person isn't 100% healed. Just because they realize that you're important and that they built some emotional connection does not mean that they know how to like deal with that connection. Again, they finally realized, well, I can actually have. And so because they have this connection still when they tap into you, because you can't break a soul type of connection, right? You can't do it because a soul connection is all about unconditional love. It's not about manipulating it or breaking it or doing anything. You can't do anything with it. It just is there. So which means that even when a person doesn't act the way that they should, we still kind of care about them. We still love them. We may not want to hang out with them because they are showing us, but there's just this, I love this person and I can't help it. So they still feel that connection. They've never had that before. So there's a part of them that's like, I feel like I can be with them at any time I want, not realizing that you really have to put energy in. And then when they think about having to put energy in, they're like, I think we need to let each other go. Because again, they see what it's going to require. One more from this deck. I regret lying to you. Yeah, because it's like they made it worse. They're realizing that you really were a friend, that they could have handled this a lot differently. If they didn't want a serious relationship, they should have talked about it. You guys talked all the time, maybe not consistently. I feel like where they were in and out of your life. So they didn't really feel like they were building a like emotional connection, because they don't have emotional connections, but they did. And that, so now, where are they now? What do you feel now? I want to know a lot of different things. I want to know, I want to know. I mean, listen, that I don't even need to ask what the triggers are, because that's triggering. Like if a person's in and out, they're not buying to you, and they're pretending to be someone that they're not, and they're, how do you feel about them is a better question after all this. How do you feel about them? I'm going to ask. Yeah, I'll pull from the Hidden Truths again, and then I'll pull from that deck. Just two. I want to see, how do you feel about them? It's again that they did all this. Because, listen, just because a person makes a train wreck out of a relationship, if it's a soul relationship, we still have a bond to them. It doesn't matter what they've done, and vice versa. So that's important to realize that. Even though you'll be like, I don't want to like this person, but understand it might be, you might be there to be learning about unconditional love and forgiveness, where you're like, this situation sucks ass. Why am I getting it? Well, if you grew up in a very imbalanced household where you were felt that you were abandoned, and that could be even emotionally abandoned, and now we're in this relationship where this person emotionally abandoned you, but you still have that connection. It's teaching you forgiveness. You're like, how is that teaching me forgiveness? It just makes me more mad. Well, we wind up searching to look for a different solution, to see a different perception, where we wouldn't a lot of times, if it's our immediate family, like our mother or father, we're just like, you just should have known. So that's why. Okay, I am grateful for the spiritual lesson. So you look at it as a spiritual lesson. You're not even like, you're like, yes, it wasn't a great lesson that you taught me, but you didn't devastate me, because I didn't give you anything. You just made me believe that this relationship was like, this relationship actually should have been at a high level of, soulmate twin flame relationship, but they're so insecure that they played games, that they lowered the vibration. And really the spiritual lesson was about you learning that you have to honor yourself, that you have to be. We both know I am not the one for you, and I believe that is you, where you're like, we're just not the one for each other, because I'm on a different vibration. I have an identity. I know where I'm going. You don't. It's like, at one point, were we on the same vibration? Maybe. But I'll never know, because you never let me in close, is what I'm feeling. And at this point, I'm too far along my path to turn around and actually do anything with this energy, because you weren't like around really for me. You played games, you were in and out, you didn't invest enough. And what are you going to do now? So let's see. So again, look at this spiritual growth. It's spiritual growth. So, and that makes sense, because when you have a soulmate twin flame relationship that doesn't work out, that was supposed to work out, and you're the one that broke it. You're the one that walked away. You're the one that said, this isn't good enough for me. Well, it's like, this is the best way that you can look at it, is to say, this was just a spiritual lesson. I had to go through this portal to get to my next level of consciousness, which is going to bring me better situations, better partners. I had to do that. I had to, again, choose me, which is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling that was really the karmic lesson. I'm going to pull just two more from the moon, and then two more from the karmic deck, and close it out, because it's pretty much self-explanatory. But It sucks when you really have feelings for someone and then they don't step it up. So, how are you supposed to deal with this? Is what I want to ask. Expect a powerful change. So that's what I was saying. You will always level up after you choose you. That was a karmic test. Believe in the impossible. I don't know why I'm actually feeling like your person may try and come back now that it's completely over, and that you're like, because there's a sense that you're fine with this. You are so fine with this. So I feel like you leveling up, your person probably again is going to try to come back. And the impossible is the fact that also could be like maybe you never thought you were going to get past this situation. There's a lot of you that watch YouTube, and this is a general message. So I'm sure that some of you are like, would I take that person back if they proved it, if they worked for it, if they worked their way to get back into my life? But they would have to, and that's the thing. And what I see in here is that they're not on a high enough vibration to really be consistent enough to try. So believe in the impossible is also believe that you can move past this. Believe that there's someone else better out there for you, because I believe that this person really should have leveled up. They didn't level up. And so because that they didn't, you will be, again, someone else is going to come into your life that holds a much better vibration. And I feel like when you meet this person and you're fine, because your person is your used to be person, I should say, was working on themselves, they are going to try and come back. Do I feel like you'll be with them then? No, I don't. I don't feel that, because I feel like this, you chalk this up for it to be just a spiritual lesson in order for you to evolve. That's why this person was brought into your life. And so, were they a soulmate? Yes. Were they part of your soul family? Yes. Could they have been a twin flame? Yes, if they would have stepped it up. But did they? No. Are they still not 100%? Not 100%. They're still too, I'm not really going to try that hard. And so, and you're again in a different phase. You're like, this was a spiritual lesson. I'm chalking it up to that, and I'm walking away. Will you meet someone else? Let's just ask. And then I'm going to close it out, I promise. Because it's like, will you meet somebody else? Will you meet somebody else? Not right now. It's like right now, it's like you're still, because I got the Judgment, which is an awakening card. So it's like, will you meet someone else right now? No. I'm feeling like you're still going to take the time to heal and just work on yourself. And in that, in the right time, the right person will come. It's not what's in the forefront. I'm sorry, I wish I could tell you that it was, but I'm not in charge of the cards that come out. So that's a story. And if you resonated with it, please let me know, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.